Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is January 21st, 2025, and we just witnessed a historical comeback, an epic comeback in the Champions League by Barcelona, defeating Benfica 4-5 in what was one of those one of the most bizarre matches I've seen in my life. Now, this is the post-match live analysis. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. This is the post-match live analysis where we analyze Barcelona matches as soon as they end and where I get to interact with you lovely people in the chat section by reading your comments, answering your questions, and getting a discussion going. This is not to be confused with the Barca News podcast, where I also get to interact with you lovely people, but instead of match analysis, we do the news. Now, having said all that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise. Make sure to Goalkeeping, Kit Bag, or Fanatics. If you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure to bet us. All links are down below in the description. You click on them, you get access to some pretty cool deals and offers. Now, let's begin with this match analysis, which was an absolute insanity because Barcelona has just pulled off a historical comeback, an epic comeback, a comeback that I have not seen since the 2015 or 16 against PSG, that 6-1 with the MSN under Luis Enrique. Absolute insanity in what was one of the most bizarre matches I've seen all my life. We had everything in these matches. We had penalty kicks. We had own goals. We had silly mistakes by the goalkeepers. Completely bizarre match, but yet Barcelona pulled off an epic historical comeback. And this is very, very, very important because, ladies and gentlemen, today I saw a Barcelona that has the mentality to win a Champions League trophy. Now, whether we win it or not, that's besides the point. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But today I saw a team that has the mentality, the spirit, the grit, the desire to be a Champions League champion because in previous seasons, since Luis Enrique, whether it was Valverde or Koeman or Setien or Xavi Hernandez, any of those Barças would have completely collapsed at the first goal because Benfica's goal came at the 4th minute, incredibly early goal. Any other previous Barca would have completely fallen apart. But instead, Barcelona kept fighting. They drew 1-1, and then you get a silly mistake by Szczesny. Benfica are up 2-1. A penalty kick against Barcelona. Now Benfica are up 3-1. Once again, any previous Barcelona team would have completely fallen apart. But the team came back, started fighting again. They scored the second goal, the weirdest freaking goal I've seen. It's now 3-2. And then again, you get punished with an own goal by Ronald Araujo. Now Benfica's up 4-2. And again, any previous Barcelona team would have completely fallen apart. But the team continued fighting. They scored the third goal. They scored the fourth goal. And then Gotilla, the best Brazilian in the world, 10 times better than the so-called Vinicius Jr. Ballon d'Or winner, scores the 5th goal to complete this epic historical comeback. And again, today Barcelona showed that they have the mentality, they have the strength, the grit, the desire, the hunger to be a Champions League winner, because winning the Champions League is not just about playing well. It's not just about having talent and skills and having talented players. Is also about desire. And that's something we've always talked about Madrid in the past years, where we've said Madrid is playing horribly. Every team they play against, they play horribly. They start matches losing, but they always end up winning. And it's because they have that winning mentality. And that's something that's been lacking in Barcelona for a very, very, very long time. But today I saw it. Today I saw a team with the mentality of a Champions League winner. An incredible comeback, a historical comeback. Again, I haven't seen anything like this since the PSG match. But having said that, today was not a good match for Barcelona. Today, Barcelona did not play well whatsoever. The team started at the match with very low intensity, which caused that first goal. And today, the team was outplayed by Benfica, strategically speaking. And I think the biggest or the weakest link in today's team was Ronald Araujo. Today, Ronald Araujo had a horrible, horrible match, and he was the weak link that Benfica knew how to exploit. And the way they were able to exploit it is because Araujo's timing when it comes to taking the ball from the back is always off. His passes were always off. His timing was always off. Even the offside line, he was always off, and Benfica saw that, and they were able to exploit it time and time again. And in fact, Benfica's first goal was completely Ronald Araujo's fault, because instead of following the ball, he decides to follow the defender. He comes out with him, leaving the guy with the ball completely by himself. And it's because he was too busy, calling for an offside. It's like, dude, the referee has not whistled. Don't worry about the offside. Worry about that later. Focus on the ball, not the defender. He comes out, leaves the pass line completely wide open, and then the first goal comes in. And then from there, it was a mistake after mistake with Araujo's timing, and Benfica exploited it time and time again. Also, Benfica was able to outplay Barcelona because they knew how to bait us. Every time, same play. The ball, the goalkeeper would pass it to the center back. Barcelona would push forward to pressure. Boom, long pass to the wingers. And there we go to try to run back to catch up. And Benfica just outplayed us time and time again. And it took Barcelona a very long time to realize what was going on. And Benfica were able to do lots of damage. Now, in the second half, this match was not won by the players. This match was won by the one and only Hansi Flick. Because in 20 minutes, Hansi Flick changed the system of play 3 times. He took out his best player, Lamine Yamal, to put in 2 wingers, Ferran and Rafinha, switching Rafinha to the right. And I'm watching there like, Hansi, what are you doing? We need to win, and you're taking out your best player. Then he puts a 3-4-3 line, 3 center backs with Eric, Pau Cubarsí, and Ronald Araujo, puts 4 midfielders and 3 attackers. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of risky. Guess what? It works. Barcelona scores 2 goals. Now they're drawn 4-4. Hansi Flick makes another change in his system, brings in Gerard Martin, and goes back to his regular formation. Also, in the midfield was completely being overrun by Benfica's player. He puts in Frankie, he puts in Fermin, completely revitalizes the midfield. In 20 minutes, Hansi Flick did 3 systems changes, and it absolutely worked. And Barcelona, again, completed a historical, epic comeback that I haven't seen in a very, very, very long time. But nonetheless, yes, we should celebrate this win. Yes, we should celebrate that Barcelona today showed the fighting spirit to be a champion. However, this is a match that Hansi Flick and the players need to go back, rewatch the tape, identify the million mistakes that were made, and they need to revisit those mistakes, because you're not always going to be able to pull off these epic comebacks. So we need to learn from these mistakes, and this cannot happen again. We cannot be down by 4 goals at the 60th minute. That's not acceptable, but I'm not going to spoil everyone's happiness, because at the end of the day, Barcelona did mount an epic comeback. Now, Wojciech Szczesny, what was going on in Benfica's second goal? I mean, that was just absolutely an amateur mistake. I mean, he comes out, Alejandro Balde has control of the ball, no communication whatsoever. If you're going to come off your line and you're going to get to the ball first, you better scream your ass off. I got it. Instead, he doesn't do that. He goes for the ball. He crashes with Balde. Easy goal for Benfica's second goal. Benfica's third goal, the penalty kick. I'm a little bit doubtful. I think the Benfica player jumps over Szczesny. I don't really see that much contact. I think he jumps and then dives, but some friends of mine, they're like, no, I see the contact. Some friends are like, I don't see the contact. Doubtful penalty kick, but to be fair, I did not think Lamine Yamal's penalty was a penalty. I think he feels the contact, he dives, the referee buys it, and I think that's pretty much what happens with the Benfica's penalty. I don't know if the referee maybe felt bad because he knew the other one was not necessarily a clear penalty, and this one wasn't either, so he decided to make it fair. I don't know, but I was not sold on Lamine Yamal's penalty kick. Now, Barcelona's second goal. Goalkeeper clears it. It hits Rafinha's head, and he goes into the goal. And this is what I mean. This is one of the most bizarre matches I've seen, because it started with the silly mistake of Wojciech Szczesny crashing into Balde, followed by a penalty, followed by a silly goal that bounces off Rafinha's head, followed by another penalty, then followed by an own goal by Ronald Araujo. Again, abysmal match by Ronald Araujo. I can't believe he went through all of that to try to beg him to stay, but abysmal match by Ronald Araujo. And today, I missed Inigo Martinez like no other day. Now, as far as Wojciech Szczesny, I don't think that the penalty kick was his fault. I think he did what he was supposed to do as a goalkeeper. He was left 1v1 versus the player. He came out, he went for the ball. The guy, tipped the ball over him. But the goal where he takes down Alejandro Balde, huge mistake. Very, very rookie mistake, and these kind of mistakes should not happen. Now, when Flick was asked whether Iñaki Peña or Szczesny should start when Szczesny was first signed, he said, I have no reason to take out Iñaki Peña because, he hasn't given him a reason. He hasn't made any mistakes. Well, today I think Szczesny makes a mistake, where I think Flick needs to start relying on Iñaki Peña once again. Now, I think Wojciech Szczesny did kind of revindicate himself towards the end. That save against Di Maria, also that save at the last second that ended up in Barcelona's goal, kind of vindicates himself. But nonetheless, that silly mistake taking Alejandro Balde down, that's not something you can afford in a Champions League match. And I think we should go back to Iñaki Peña. Now, overall, again, not a good match by Barcelona. I think we're rebated time and time again by Benfica. Benfica were much more superior to us in the first 60 minutes. But nonetheless, this is a team that's showing that they do not give up, that it doesn't matter how many goals they're facing. It doesn't matter how many mistakes they make. It doesn't matter if it's penalty kicks or own goals. They continue fighting. And at the end of the day, they got the result. I'm very, very happy that 6 out of 7 matches won in the Champions League, 6 in a row. The only loss against Monaco. We have one more match left, which is against Atalanta, and Barcelona are automatically qualified to the knockout stages. So we don't have to worry about the playoffs anymore. We're automatically qualified to the knockout stages. Of course, Barcelona's still gonna want to win the last match because, again, there are monetary incentives to do so, which I discussed in detail in yesterday's podcast. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. Now, that's my overall sensation. Again, very happy to see a team with such a strong mentality that continues fighting until the end, until the last minute. But overall, not a good match by Barcelona, and this is the kind of match that you are going to have to review, learn from it, grow from it, and get better because today the team made way too many mistakes. Now, the MVP of the match, because I always like to pick the MVP of the match, once again, it has to go to Pedri because Pedri today was once again all over the field, helping with the defense, helping with the attack, with the passing, building the plays. Pedri this season is absolutely unstoppable. Pedri this season is the reincarnation of Iniesta with even some Xavi in him. But Pedri this season has been phenomenal. And to me, today he was the MVP. Of course, it was given to Coutinho. 2 goals. Of course, the first one was luck bouncing off his head. But the second one, he saved the match with that goal. And how do you like that assist from Ferran Torres, by the way? Because I was jokingly talking with my friends. It was 4-4. And I said, Ferran Torres is going to score the winning goal. Of course, I said that jokingly. And then he doesn't score the winning goal, but he provides the winning assist. So, hey, my hat's off to Ferran Torres that as much as we like to make fun of him, every time he comes off the bench, things happen. Magic happens. So, hey, if he can keep coming off the bench and making things happen here and there, I'm all for it. But I'm happy today. I will celebrate today's epic comeback, even though, again, the team did not play well. But these are the kind of matches that are very, very important for the team because this only makes the team stronger mentally. They already showed plenty of strength, but this only makes them even stronger mentally. And this is incredibly important for morale because after tonight's match, I think the team is going to get a huge boost in morale, something we needed given our last match against Getafe, given that we are 3rd place in La Liga. I think this will be a very, very good morale boost for the team. And again, it will be very good because it will continue to strengthen them mentally, something, again, the team has lacked in many, many seasons. And today, I did not see any weakness in these players' minds. All right, let's do the chat section. Let's see what you guys are saying. But I am on cloud 9. I can't believe I just watched this match. It was the most bizarre match. And we do have our first donation of the night. Texas Transplant, who says, I have absolutely no words to describe what I witnessed in this match. That being said, Rafinha deserves goal of the year, even if he didn't know anything about it. Regardless, Visca Barca. Visca Barca, amen. Man, the most bizarre match I've seen. From Szczesny's mistake to that weird goal that bounces off Rafinha's head, to 3 penalty kicks in total, to an own goal, to a last minute screamer or last second screamer. I mean, we saw it all today. This was the most bizarre match, but nonetheless, it was an incredible, and historical comeback. Again, 9 goals in one match. I mean, this is the kind of matches that we live for in the Champions League. And like they say, the Champions League nights are magical, and today was an absolute proof of that. And Baby's comeback with the donation says Levy was annoying with the back heel pass tries. Yeah, he needs to stop that. I know it's worked in the past, and he's gotten some pretty good assists from his heel pass, but there is time and place to do the heel pass. When you're down 3-4 goals, that's not the time to be doing heel passes. Mustafa says, Mo, how much did we cash out today? Today we got another 2.1 million euros for winning, plus for qualifying to the knockout stages. I think it's a 10 or 11 million euro bonus. So not a bad day. Not a bad day. Barcelona, if you want to send some of that money my way, I'll be more than happy to receive it on your behalf. Victor says, I'm so confused of what to feel. This was a roller coaster of emotion, but at the end of the day, luck, it's a skill, and R11 showed it today. Good reaction in terms of tactics on the manager's side. Again, this match was won by Flick. The players played it, but this match was won by Flick. Another tactical masterclass by the German, who first, his plans were not working in the first half, went back to the board, adjusted the team 3 times, made the right substitutions, made the right changes, and won this match. And at this point, I will never, ever, ever, ever doubt Hansi Flick. When he took out Lamine Yamal, I was like, what is he doing? What are you doing, Flick? We're losing, blah, blah, blah. I will never doubt Flick again. If tomorrow he decides to take out Szczesny and put in Robert Lewandowski as a goalkeeper, I'm going to be like, I trust you. I trust you. You know what you're doing. Nathan says, Mo, this game was a shameful victory. We aren't winning any more trophies this season. Playing. Whoa. Someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Victor says, nothing was going according to plan. I'm still trying to figure out what happened to goalkeeper and Balde, maybe a language barrier. I don't know if we could be happy or concerned. It's just strange. Again, I'm happy because the team showed mental fortitude, something that the team has lacked for many, many years. But we did not have a good match. We did not play a good match whatsoever. But I'd rather play a bad match like this and win, because then we can go back and learn from it and make sure that doesn't happen again, versus, the opposite, I guess. John Williams says, hey, Mo, how are you doing? This has been the greatest, craziest comeback for the season so far. Kudos to Hansi for the change of tactics, a 3-man defense. Absolutely. Again, to me, Hansi Flick won this match. Curtis says, for all the fans that were so hurt to bench Iñaki Peña, I hope all you can wake up now. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what I was saying from the beginning. Even when Ter Stegen got injured, people were like, Iñaki sucks. We need this goal game. I was like, no, he does it. Like, he might not be a flashy goalkeeper that you look at and you're like, wow, amazing. But he doesn't suck. He's actually a decent goalkeeper. And, I think today we kind of saw that, right? Solitude says, más que un club, Visca Barça, my friend, Visca Barça. And Cherno says, hey, Mo, I'm glad that the game ended in our favor, but I believe Cuarsi works better with Martinez and Araujo. With Iñigo's injury, I think we are vulnerable at the back. I think so, too, because, I mean, to be fair to Araujo, though, he just started playing with this team. This is technically, a completely new system with even some new players like Casado. That's someone who Araujo never played with before. It's a completely new formation, a 4-2-3-1. So to be fair, Araujo just started playing with this team. It is going to take up some time to adjust. But something that Araujo has always had a problem with is the forward passes from the back line. He's always had a problem with, and today Benfica exploited that because Araujo's passing was always off, and Benfica knew how to exploit that. And then on the first goal, what the hell are you doing? Like, go back, watch the replay. Araujo's right there blocking the line of pass. And then he decides to start calling for an offside. He backs away, and he leaves the line of pass completely wide open because he's too busy asking for an offside. Dude, don't ask for an offside. The referee has not whistled. Once the referee has whistled, you can go ahead and ask all the offsides you want. You can go talk to the referee. You can do whatever the hell you want. If the play is still going, you don't lose your focus. And then that own goal. I mean, horrible match by Araujo. Another blunder in the Champions League. He did it last year against PSG. Today, he did it once again. against Benfica. But that's the difference between this year's Barcelona and last year's Barcelona. Last year's Barcelona, they get Araujo kicked out. They're up 4 goals, completely fall apart. Today, Barcelona are faced with an obstacle after an obstacle after an obstacle, and they continued fighting every single time. Every single time Barcelona got knocked down, they dust themselves off and they got up. They got an early goal. They continue fighting. They tied it. They get a second goal by a silly mistake and a penalty on top of that. So now they're down 2. They get up. They keep fighting. They score the second goal, and then boom, Araujo makes it 4. They get up. They continue fighting, and then they fought until the end, the last second. Completely change of mentality from last season to this one, from many seasons to this one. And that's what I'm celebrating today. I'm not celebrating how Barcelona played because, again, it was not a good match. I'm celebrating the fact that this team has a complete change of mentality, and this is the kind of mentality that you need to win the Champions League. Romani says Rafinha will have a bad match, but still come in clutch. Yeah, that's true. First half, Rafinha was completely ghost. Second half, he scores a winning goal. I mean, hey, I'll take it. Sean says, very happy for the win, but I wasn't happy with how we played. To give up 4 goals was not good, but what we did great was we continued to play for the full 90 minutes. I agree with you, my friend. 100% agree with you. And Siabonga says, I'm so angry at Kunde. He played like he didn't want to be on the field. I blame him for the 4th goal. How on earth did he allow that cross to come in? How? I'll tell you how. Because, again, Benfica were really good at baiting us. It was the same play time and time again. They would pass it to their center backs or to their fullbacks. They would wait for Barcelona to advance their lines to pressure because they know Barcelona like to, pressure in the opponent's final third. And as soon as Barcelona would advance their lines, including our fullbacks, Kunde and Balde, boom, there would come the long pass to the back of the players. So then by then, our fullbacks did not help. And it's because by then it was too late. By then, our fullbacks had pushed forward. And then for them to come all the way back to our goal, it was just a very long trek. And it was too late by then. That's how they were able. That's how Benfica was able to exploit our backs time and time again. Kia says, we need Inigo Martinez. Araujo can't play a high line effectively. Today's win was down to sheer luck. It was very poor performance from Barca. Nevertheless, we got 3 very important points. I am worried about Araujo, but to give him the benefit of the doubt, he just started playing again after many months of being injured. This is technically a new team for him because there's new players. There's a new system of play. There's a new coach. So I want to give him the benefit of doubt and think that maybe it's going to take him some time to adjust, but today just was not a good day for Araujo. Not a good day at all. Curtis says, our second half was very good. Yes, individual mistake cost us, but the team played well in the second half. I don't even think the team played well in the second half. I mean, once Hansi Flick made the changes, the team did improve a lot, but that was like maybe the 70th minute. So I guess the last 20 minutes were good, but for the first 60, 70 minutes, we were just not good at all. Ross says, goalie and Araujo mistakes gave them 3 goals, but we never gave up. That's what I think it was. Under Xabi, no disrespect, we actually gave up sometimes. Sometimes we gave up every time. Every time we get scored on, the team would just completely fall apart. And Cherno says, for me, Szczesny, Araujo, and Lewy underperformed tonight. True, but at least with Lewy, he scored both his penalty kicks, and that's what you ask from a center forward. So, there's not much I could say. Szczesny caused us a clear goal, taking down Alejandro Balde. He kind of revindicated himself with those last 2 saves, one against Di Maria that could have easily been a goal, and then Barca's 5th goal results from a save by Szczesny, which then Ferran Torres makes an incredible assist to even a more incredible goal by Coutinho. So he kind of gets revindicated. The guy who doesn't get revindicated at all is Araujo. Araujo did not do anything for me that could have saved his match. Again, Lewandowski at least saved his poor performance with 2 goals. Szczesny saved his poor performance with 2 saves. Araujo didn't do anything for me to save his horrible performance. Easy Snipe says Araujo ball playing abilities are horrible. Inigo Martinez is the real deal. 100% agree with you, which is funny because last season I used to say Inigo Martinez is good, and people used to be like, "Ma, what are you talking about? Sell Inigo. He's a bum. He's old. Blah blah blah." I'm like, just wait and see, guys. Just wait and see. One way people will learn. Gabriel says, don't really feel like pointing to the finger to Araujo. For me, he did well without some other mistakes. No, There was nothing well about his performance. Absolutely nothing. And Trini Barca fan says, "Hi Mo, I sat waiting for the live this time. Had to see your reaction to the back. I'm guessing you meant to the comeback. I'm grateful for the points and cash that will follow, but that was a hard game to watch. Not a good game in my opinion. I agree with you 100%, my friend. Not a good game, but again, I like what I saw from the players' mentality. Performance-wise, horrible, but we've been having very good performances, so we know we can do that. What we were lacking for the longest time was the strong mentality, and today we saw that we could do that too. So now I believe that this team has both, has the ability to play really well and the ability to have a fighting spirit and fight until the last second. And with that combination, you can compete for anything. I'm not saying we're going to win everything, but we can compete for anything. Paul Leo says, "Hey Mo, happy that I got you live today. Mo, I think Rafinha deserves some praise, and I don't think our goalkeeper have to be starting important games like this." Rafinha gets plenty of praise. I mean, that goal was amazing at the last second. Definitely coming in clutch. So, and plus he got the MVP. Again, for me, it was Pedri, but I'm not going to be mad that Rafinha got it because, after all, it was Rafinha's goal. They gave us the 3 points. H. Andrew says, "Mo, I'm watching from Monrovia, Liberia. I think the team shows supremacy on Benfica tonight." I don't think so. I think Benfica were supreme today, but we were able to fight back. We were able to pull off one hell of a comeback, so I'll celebrate that. Shaquille says, "Rafinha's head after the second goal must have been shaking." That's a good point because actually, if you watch the replay, when the ball hits Rafinha's head, you can see the water just go like fly out of the water droplets fly out of his hair. It's kind of like when they show replays of boxing and the boxer gets punched and it's just like sweat and saliva flies off. It was literally like that. I hope he's okay because those really hurt and those can cause concussions. So I hope he's really well. But I'm telling you, this was just a bizarre match. Just a bizarre match. I mean, from the silly mistakes to the penalties to that goal that was like the goalie kicks it. It was just a weird match. But one hell of a comeback. Go to football says Pedri was my man of the match. The Jews, you guys saw how amazing Pedri was. I'm sure Hansi Flick gave everyone a slap and a dressing for a second half. Oh man, when they showed Hansi Flick towards the end of the first half, he looked pissed. He usually just looks like he kind of looks pissed because he just has a serious face. But no, today he really looked pissed. I mean, he looked like he was gonna kill somebody. I can't even imagine what he told them in the locker room. And whatever he said, they deserve it because they played horribly. And Hart says, "When Benfica parking the bus backfired." Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's the thing. This is another brilliance of Hansi Flick, is that when Hansi Flick changed his system of play, he forced Benfica to adapt to us. And that's very important because this is something that people used to say last season, like, oh, you have to adapt to your team. But no. Cruyffism, pure Cruyffism, pure Barca DNA is you don't adapt to your opponent. You play the way you know how to play, and you make your opponent adapt to you. And that's what Flick did when he changed his system several times, like going from a 3-4-3 to from a 4-2-3-1 to a 3-4-3 back to a 4-2-3-1. He forced Benfica to adjust and to stop doing what they were doing to us, which is the whole baiting us and then doing the long passes, and instead force them to go into defensive mode, which it did not work for them. It did not. Eureka says, "I never believed I would say this one day, but Barca has more chance to win a Champions League than La Liga." My only concern with this is whenever we've won the Champions League, we've usually won La Liga. We usually do, they go both hand in hand. But I mean, I wouldn't mind winning the Champions League and not winning La Liga. I would prefer to win both because that's the difference between Barcelona and, let's say, Madrid. Madrid does prioritize trophies. Barcelona always go for all of them. That's why we have 2 trebles and they have 0. I would obviously prefer to win the 2, but if I get to choose one, I would choose the Champions League because we haven't won it in so long. And Ross says, "I can't believe how much poo-poo I talked about Rafinha last season. Feel bad about it, but I was not wrong." No, don't feel bad about it. I mean, let's be honest. Rafinha from this season is not even the same person. I mean, I'm at a point where I want to request a DNA test because it's a completely different player. I mean, Rafinha the last 2 seasons was not good enough. He was just not. He was terrible. And for the people who defended him, I mean, how could you defend that performance when you're seeing this performance now? Are you telling me that Rafinha from the last 2 seasons was the same one as now? Absolutely not. Now Rafinha is a million times better. Now Rafinha is a key player for the team. Last 2 seasons, he was not. He wasn't even good enough to be on the team. So, and if you don't see a difference, then that's a bigger problem. Idris says, not an easy away game, wet, cold weather. I felt like this also affected the players. So yesterday, the plane was delayed by many hours because there was a really strong storm in Portugal. Lots of wind. And I don't know if you guys have seen Manifest. It's a TV show about this plane that's coming back from Jamaica, and they go into like some kind of wormhole, and they come back in the future, like 10 years later, some crap like that. I think something similar happened because today's match was out of the twilight zone. Again, this is the most bizarre match I've seen in my life. I mean, from the silly mistakes to the bizarre goals to the penalty kicks to the own goal. I mean, it was just a bizarre, bizarre match. But again, I'm happy with the win. This was an insane match. It was a crazy, crazy match. Very happy, but definitely a match that the team needs to learn from and needs to go back, review, and figure out what went wrong, because there was a lot of things that went wrong. And Street Fighter says we need to find a balance between defensive and attack so that if attack do not work, at least we can defend. No, because Barcelona has never been a defensive team. And you have to play to your strengths. You have to do what you know what to do. And if you know how to attack, then you have to keep attacking. You cannot then revert back to, oh, let me park the bus. It's not going to work because you don't know how to park the bus. You don't have the players that have the qualities to pull off parking the bus. You don't know how to do that. So if you revert to that, it's not going to work. You're going to get killed because it's not something you know how to do. It's like, the whole jack of all trades, master of none. You don't want to be that team. You want to be a team who's really good at what you know how to do, which is attacking. And that, yes, that leaves you exposed. Absolutely. It does leave you exposed. But Cruyff never cared about getting scored on. His objective was always score more than your opponent. It doesn't matter if you end up scoring 4 or 5 goals as long as you score 6, right? So we have to focus on what we know how to do, which is attack. We cannot be reverting to stuff that we don't know how to do, and we don't even have the players with the qualities to know how to do. We cannot park the bus because we've never done it. We don't have the experience to do it. We don't even have the players to do it. So you have to concentrate on what you do best and master that and continuously improve on it and become the best at it. This whole wishy-washy shit does not work. And that was one of the problems with Xavi Hernandez last season, is that he was always wishy-washy. He never fully committed to the attacking plan because he was always too scared of being scored on. And you can't. If you want to play true Barca DNA, you cannot be afraid to get scored on. Someone the other day commented, Mo, only 2 or 3 teams haven't been able to score against us. How are we going to win? I'm like, easy, by scoring more. That's always been Barcelona's philosophy. Who cares? I don't care if all 19 teams in La Liga score on us. As long as we're scoring more than each one of them, we're going to win. And that's the true Barca DNA. That's what Cruyff instilled in Barcelona. If you want a defensive team that doesn't get scored on, become an Atletico Madrid fan. Current says, crazy how pundits on ESPN talking about penalty kicks for Barca, and when we get robbed, you don't hear these talking about. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like I've said before, ESPN are just a bunch of clowns. And Ahmad Muhammad says, great mentality from the team. Flick is the real GOAT today. I can't wrap my head around the 1-1 Rafinha missed. Oh, I know which one you're talking about, which is funny because when that happened, I texted my friend. I was like, man, Rafinha just really struggles scoring from the left side. And then he gets switched to the right and a winning goal comes to the right. So maybe it was my magical words that went into that twilight zone where the match was happening and made it happen. I'm kidding. Idris says, after watching the replay of the 5th goal when Benfica crossed the ball, there was a foul on Lewa before the penalty claim. I believe that's why the goal was allowed. Yeah, that was, man, when that goal went in, I went nuts. I was like, yeah, let's go. I almost threw my computer out the window, and then I was like, hold on a second, VAR, and I'm getting nervous. It felt like an eternity. And then they call the goal, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. But then the ref gets called by the 4th assistant, and I was like, holy crap, wait a minute, what is going on again? But it turned out it was because I guess someone on the Benfica bench said something. So the assistant ref was calling the ref through so he can issue a red card. And so when I saw the red card, I was like, okay, we're good. Yeah, I started celebrating again. And then the referee blows the whistle. Benfica, starts to play. And then I can just see their formation that they're throwing a Hail Mary. They got all their players ready to run. for a long pass. And then I was like, hold on a minute. And then referee ends the match. And I mean, it was just a roller coaster of emotions. I think I aged like 5 years just watching this match. But anyways, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Another important victory in the Champions League, another 3 points. Barcelona are officially qualified to the knockout stages. So we will be in the round of 16 of the Champions League. Crazy match, historical comeback, epic comeback, but nonetheless, not a good performance. But today, Barcelona show all of us that they do have the winning mentality of a Champions League winner. So very important in that aspect, in that regards. Celebrate today because the road is still long until the end of the season. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you in news videos later tonight. And as always, Visca Barça.